We're going to build us a sprayer. Now you could spray pesticides, you could spray fertilizer with it, you could spray water with it on your flowers, but just don't mix those things. So got me a sprayer wand, and you can see the end of this thing here. Get a little bit of a barb type fitting on the end of it. And you got your tip on there. You can screw and unscrew, take it apart, adjustable stuff. So just pick whatever you want. The pump I've got here shuts off at 100 PSI. It's an RV water pump. So what I've got here is some reinforced vinyl tubing with a working pressure of 225 PSI. The regular clear tubing's got a working pressure of about 55 PSI. So just, you wouldn't want to put this clear tubing on the pressure side. It's fine for pickup. You know, 10 feet of this stuff's about 12 or 15 bucks. So anyway, so I got my pump here, and this is, got that off the River website for, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks. You can just get a little 35 PSI RV pump that turns off like one of these here. That right there actually did all right. It's got an automatic pressure shut off. So this shuts off at 35. This one here shuts off at 100. So I want to see, because, you know, I've running around with a backpack sprayer ends up putting bruises on my back. So, you know, anyway, so put their pickup tube here. Got this little hose clamp. We'll tighten that up one of these years. You don't have to kill it. All right. So now we'll take this part coming there. It's got a gasket. This is plastic threads. Don't kill them. And it's supposedly got new water in it, whatever, sterilized, I don't know. It's just got freaking water in it. So they probably factory tested it. I don't know, but it's got some water in it. So anyway, no reason to really put Teflon on here, because this is the sealing surface, is just the end. So as long as that's nice and smooth, it should seal. So we're just going to take this, and you want to turn it backwards, press lightly, and you'll feel a thread jump. And then once you feel that, then you go the other way. Just finger gently tight, right? You should be able to turn it like that. And then you get that snugged up. And as far as inch pounds, I don't know, but it dang sure ain't foot pounds. So we're just going to kind of give it a little snug, you know, put it on finger tight, give it a half turn, stop. And let's just see how this does, because you can strip this out. It is just plastic. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mount this on top of a 5-gallon bucket lid. Now you can take the lid off the bucket. So this is going to be, we got our pickup tube, we got our pump. We're going to mount it all in one thing on top of this. So I'm just using some roofing screws, the rubber bushing, self-tappers, coarse thread, and very gently you're going to take these things and put them on there. And then do not use 120 volt, no kidding. 12 volt only, no flammable, don't submerge pump. So working temperature, freezing to 140, yeah, okay. 5 amp draw, cutoff pressure, 100 pounds. So it doesn't mean 2 gallon per minute jet at 100 PSI. It just means it'll pump up to 100 pounds and it should stop. Sometimes it may go a little bit higher than that. 3/8 inch hose barb, 2 gallons a minute. can suck up to 6.6 feet high. We're only sucking about 1.5 feet here, a foot. Find the arrow on the pump. It's a water flow direction. So this has an arrow actually right there on your pump head. Tells you it's pumping that direction. Pump body seal. The motor's not waterproof. Don't put the pump underwater. Put a filter at the inlet. I didn't do that. Probably will one day, maybe. Only turn the center screw on the head when needed. It's used to adjust cut-on, cut-off pressure. If you make a mistake and turn the screw clockwise, the cut-off pressure will increase and it might exceed the max pressure the pump can resist, and water will come out from the head. So in other words, they got some adjustment screws up here. I'm not going to mess with those adjustment screws. Default cut-off is around 100. You can adjust it from 60 to 100. Don't exceed 100. Turn the screw slowly. Anyway, you got some instructions there. So we got 2 yellows and we got a red. So the red wire is going to be hot. The 2 yellows are going to be ground wire. And that's what I was after. So we got red is positive. 2 yellows are going to be ground wire. So now we're going to go get us some electrical connectors and we're going to hook this up. We're going to mount us a battery here and we're going to see how this thing sprays. Make us a base plate for this thing. So we're just going to kind of do one of these numbers here. We're going to cut that out on a bandsaw. We're going to screw this to this lid to where we can have our box offset from it a little bit. Then this box here, kind of tacked it together. I'm going to use some panhead screws so they don't dig into the bottom of the battery. Now at this point, I drilled a bunch of holes in here, but I don't really have to have them because the plywood is stuck to this. Now I've got my battery where I can stick it in there. But to keep the screws from digging into the bottom of it, I'm going to get me some paper towel. Or foam rubber or leather or whatever you want. Just going to stick that down there. And that should hold that. Red to red, moment of truth. So now I've just got this thing sitting here bolted down. You snap your lid on, you got your battery, you got your pump, you got your sprayer, you ride around and spray. The way I set this on the lawnmower, so I built this, just a bracket. This thing here sets like so. Got me a couple screws in here to keep it centered up so it don't rattle off to the side. Basically, you just set it down on there. The screws kind of go inside of these to keep it from rattling left to right. And I got me a bucket, bottom half of a bucket that won't stick on mine. Put me a couple little screws through there with a plate to keep that thing. Drill you some holes in it so your water will drain. Anyway, that's about all there is to it. Just set your bucket on there and go to town. On the end of your pickup tube, you want to put a weight, stainless steel or something like that, not copper. It's just whatever's compatible with what you got in there. And then put your filter on there. I don't have one of them yet. All right, so I'm gonna do my weed sprayer Roundup filter for now until I get me an RV water filter. Got me 3/8 tubing. I got me a 1/4 inch by whatever size socket fits whatever you're having. I think that's a 6mm piece of silicone tubing shoved into a water filter or a fuel filter for a Subaru. Well, anyway, we'll see how this works. If it don't have enough, I'll just rip all this off and let it rip.